We are backstage with Jeff Scott Soto and Ron Bumblefoot Thal, better known together as Sons of Apollo. There you go.
How you doing, Mitch?
Great. And bienvenue à Montreal, as we like to say.
Oh, man, your French is getting way better.
Merci beaucoup. So,
Merci beaucoup.
let us get into the live show, but let's also talk about the new album, 2020.
Yes, sir.
To me, it's not just a super group together doing this thing. You're really establishing a Sons of Apollo sound. Talk to me about the difference for you between the first one and going into the second one and what you're trying to say and how you're sort of making a musical statement.
Well, this whole supergroup thing really just teased me off because I never got my cape.
Right.
Sorry.
You can all be different characters. You can have a cape. Personally, with this hat, I think I'm like a rabbi. Some people say we're the Avengers of Prague. So I'll be like the rabbi. You'll be Machete.
Machete. So yeah, we didn't stray too far from the original design of the foundation of this band, and of course, I mean, we're not going to make an album and try to create a sound for ourselves and then change it right away. So of course there's a grape in my ear.
This is how you create good content.
So we basically wanted to go in and make a formidable follow-up.
Right.
We didn't want to try to change the formula. We didn't want to go too far away from what we originally wanted to lay down for this band.
So, all right. So, but talk to me about it, because at the beginning there was this talk about it's a supergroup, but it's not a supergroup.
We never said it. The press said it.
The press said it.
Yeah.
But they're not. Right.
Honestly,
but we're not saying that
supergroup
anymore.
is a definition when you have a band made up of people that didn't go to high school together and say, hey, let's form a band together. And that's their first band, and that's what they got known for, is that band.
Right.
So when everybody in the band has done something else that they're known for from different places and they come together. So to me, I just consider it a definition of that. It's not, it doesn't lose authenticity. It doesn't lose anything by being that, as long, if it's good, it's good.
It can lose authenticity because a lot of these super groups, they don't deliver the goods of what people would expect out of it, And so from that, we made sure that everything that we're made of, everything that makes us who we are, was all laid out on those two records.
Right. Can you say, I'm just going to being the rabbi, we're going to get into discussions here. Couldn't you say that maybe that these other bands that you're saying they're not delivering the goods, maybe to them they are delivering the goods, and this is what they, this is what they are when they come together and they're giving their best.
Of course.
And
I'm not the one saying it. I'm just saying there are others that say they don't deliver, and hence
I'm
why
quoting a quote.
Hence why a lot of these super groups don't really pan out. I mean, there have been so many through the age. The funny thing is, I saw a recent, I guess it was an article on Us, and then there was a whole display of all the other supergroups from the 70s to current. There were bands I never even heard of.
Right.
Like configurations and things that had happened. And it just goes to show it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work.
No, it doesn't. And what I like about this one is that we've gotten away from that, and it's really people talk about Sons of Apollo
as a band, right?
Which is an incredible achievement, because delivering a new music and a new band is very hard. So talk to me about that progression and how it became a brand and not just 5 different guys playing their thing.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we jumped into album number 2 so quickly. Mm-hmm. If we waited too long, people would say, "Oh, I told you it was just a passing thing. If it's going to stick, they're going to come back. It didn't stick, they're not coming back." We knew immediately when we're doing the first tour. We discussed it like halfway through the tour. We need to go back in the studio and start getting the second album out right away, because that's the only way people are going to take it seriously and see that we're actually committed to this.
Also, we wanted to. We had song ideas and we wanted to do another album.
Yeah, he's
like
a minute.
Prince. He's got his own purple vault.
Not quite.
Well, it's a purple vault full of hot sauce, but
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Now, would that hot sauce work on cheese, by the way?
Absolutely. The hot sauce would even work on those grapes.
I would say for this one, you want to try an all-purpose tomato-based mild sauce.
Yeah,
that would
that makes
go
sense.
well with this.
You don't want to try
Bumblefuck.
Bumblefuck, yeah. That would be a little bit too much on the parsley, but listen, when you get into a group like this, there is this challenge of creating this brand. You could, of course, have just gone off and done the Ringo Starr all-star band and be one of the bit players, and why put yourself through this challenge of delivering new music and becoming a band and not just saying, hey, you know what?
Because we love this.
I have
This
my
is
own
who we
reasons.
are.
My reasons will differ from the rest. For me, I wanted to do something like this. When Mike asked me to be a part of this, even before Ron was a part of it, I said yes without hesitation, without even knowing what I would be singing over, without knowing. They didn't send me any songs. What I could get myself into.
Or who you
I
were
didn't have
getting
any
into bed
music,
with
any
it.
reference. All I knew is that they had another outfit and they wanted to do another album with vocals this time. It was all instrumental before, the PSMS thing. And once I was in the fold, that's when they kind of went, they went another direction in the sense of we need more of a rocker focus. I mean, as great as Tony is, he's more of the jazzy fusion, classical. They wanted this to have a little more, contemporary.
Right. More bite?
I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
More whatever.
Yeah.
Oomph.
This guy's a bona fide rock star.
He's an
But
oomph guy.
aside of the fact that he can outplay any guitar player on the planet,
Right.
he's a bona fide rock star, and that's what they felt they needed to complete this thing.
Now, talk to me a little bit about the vocal challenges for you, because you're known or respected very much as a great melodic rock voice, and now this is more sort of a progressive rock thing. Do you change the way you sing? Have you had to learn a new way to sing, or you just step in and I'm doing what I'm doing?
I adapted everything that I do to everything that we're doing, because that's where I would have had the hesitation or the I don't think this is for me
Moment.
factor. Yeah. It was the fact that they let me be me. Everybody gets to be themselves, but we also know not to be too much of ourselves because it wouldn't work within the parameters of what we are trying to develop here. We know what this band should sound like, so we don't take too many things.
Well, let me ask you: are there rules to what the band should sound like? Because you listen. Derek did Alice Cooper tours, and Derek did Kiss Revenge tours, and Ron has done, of course, Guns N' Roses, and you've done Journey, and you've done
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights
disco
and
band.
Wet, and is there a place where you go, no, we can't experiment and be a Boogie Nights band for our one song? You have to be Deep Purple.
The funny thing is, we had a recent story about that. On the first album, there was a little the section on Lost in Oblivion, I think it was.
Right.
It was a crazy breakdown section, and originally there was a kind of a Steven Tyler scat thing that they'd planned over that. And I did it, and at first, that's cool. And then once they listened to it at home, like, this is lame. This doesn't fit this style at all.
Right.
We were trying to force something because I have
You're
that natural
crowbarring it in.
R&B soul kind of thing in me, and they were trying to inject it into it. Didn't work at all. So we changed it, we ironed it out, and put something else. So we don't want to get too cuckoo, but then again, it's still early with the band's development.
Right.
When you're at the point, I mean, Kiss, you would keep going back to Kiss. They were one of the biggest rock bands in the world, and then they came out with "I Was Made for Loving You," a disco song.
Right.
So you never know. Once you get that establishment, you can fuck around with things and kind of play
Move
with the
the
pot.
bar a bit.
Yeah.
Now, so let me ask you about this. You talking about that? You look at a band like AC/DC, and when I say AC/DC, you know exactly. You hear that riff, and you know exactly. Yeah. But then when I talk to you about U2 or Madonna, they can do completely different things album to album, and the fans are still there. Yeah. Do you see Sons of Apollo being one of those bands that has the freedom eventually, as you build a brand, to do the Madonna U2 path? Or do you want to be AC/DC, where the third album you buy, you go, I know what the fuck I'm getting, and that's what I want?
We'll veer into some uncharted territories, but not that crazy, and we're not trying to be the next Queen. I mean, Queen could cover blues, jazz, classical, opera, disco, funk, you name it, heavy metal. They did everything and mastered it all. We're not trying to be that. So there's no real agenda for that.
No.
We really want to plant our seed, and then we can kind of dabble into little things here and there. But I don't think we're going to stray too far from where we're at, and we're too old to keep trying.
I don't know if we can really stray.
Right.
Like, we are who we are, and when you put these ingredients, salt is going to be salt, pepper is going to be pepper, cayenne's going to be cayenne. You put us together, and it's always going to have some semblance of those flavors together. It all goes back to food with me, doesn't it?
It really does.
But that's the
it's a
reality
smorgasbord of music.
Yeah. So that's the thing. We're always going to sound like us. Yeah. And I think when Mike and Derek were picturing this band and the people they wanted, it's for that reason. They wanted people that had a musical identity, sound to them just on their own that you bring together and see what happens when you put these 5 ingredients into the bowl.
Right. So, all right. Let me. Do
Ron's
my-
always he's always wanted his own mic bitch. I guess that's what I'm at, right? I don't mind. It's kind of cool.
Let's do the Oprah moment of the interview. But how do you feel, sort of on a personal level or a fulfillment level, that you get out to go out there and sing your songs, and the fans tonight showed up to see you. They didn't show up to see you in front of Journey or Mike with Twisted Sister or you with Axe. They came to see you, and it's you, your band, your brand. How does that make you feel?
The biggest reward any artist could ask for. The reception we got tonight, I mean,
Insane.
I wish I could bottle it, package it, and bring it with us everywhere we go, because not everywhere is like that. Every band has their golden goose and the lame duck.
You've got cities, you're Detroit, Boston, Chicago, Quebec, Montreal. Those, it's just, if you can't make it there, forget it.
You can't make it anywhere.
Pretty much.
I was 5 years old. I heard the Kiss Alive album, and I pictured what I wanted my life to be.
Right.
And I spent my life trying to get there.
Learning the Brady Bunch theme when he was watching on TV.
Well, actually, yeah. But really, it was
I
just
Dream
a
of
love for
Genie for
music,
me.
and I can play it. Didn't we
did.
play that the other night? Yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah, we were going through Bewitched and I Dream of Genie and comparing it to
Sorry, I'm gonna keep going.
Ron can play anything.
Well, because, yeah, I was talking. We were talking about the different songs that you heard when they had bands within TV shows. So you had like the Way Outs.
Yep.
You had. So I was mentioning when on Bewitched.
The Banana Splits.
When when her sister Serena decided to become an artist and had a song called "I'll Blow You a Kiss in the Wind." So I started playing it. La da da la da ba 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 la da da ba da ba ba da 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 la da da da.
Everybody listening's going, what the fuck?
Kiss
It's the next new
in
album.
the wind. Ba da 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 da. It was kind of cool. It was a pretty good song, and definitely it captured that 60s writing and all. It was good. So anyway, we were talking about that. That's where I Dream of Genie and everything came up. Digress, yes.
It's a great word.
So the thing is, when I pictured
And he's
what I
digesting, too.
want, I digest.
digesting and digressing. It's a fiesta.
What I imagined was to be in a band where everybody contributes, everybody is a founding member, everybody is writing and creating together.
It's like
That's
the Beatles
most
and
important.
Kiss.
Exactly, and that's exactly it. I wanted to be in a band where you could know the members by their first names and it meant something to you.
Yes.
And and there's times that I strayed from that, but ultimately I tried.
Well, you have to make money.
Well,
No, but you
actually,
really got
no,
it with
don't,
this one because
because-
when you think Billy, you really think Billy Sheehan and his baggage, and when you think you think like it's
not.
it's great.
it really isn't about money. It's because
No.
at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself, and if you feel like you're a fraud and you're not being who you want to be, and if you feel like you've compromised your dream in some way, you're not going to like waking up in the morning.
No.
And you have to go back to that. And I would rather, find another way to make money to fund the things that I want to do in my heart. But in the end, it's not up to us anyway. We can do what we want, or we could do this, or we could do that. We could do anything, and it's up to the rest of the world to decide if it
connects.
Yeah.
connects.
So that's the thing. So, the way I look at it is the only thing you can do that's in your power, that you have control over, is to be the best you and be authentic.
Do you connect differently to music when it's your music? When you finished a GNR show and there's 30,000 people, was it the same thrill as being in front of this smaller sold-out crowd playing your own music, or is it a whole different experience?
There's different aspects. I mean, there's the love of playing,
Playing,
just being on stage. You know what? Musicians are people pleasers,
Right.
and we want to make people happy.
Right.
And as long as you're doing that, that's really the main thing.
Right.
But then when you're alone, just going to bed and your final thoughts before you close your eyes, that's when you start thinking about, well, am I making people happy the way I want to? Am I making myself happy? Do I feel like I'm providing the world with something that only I can give, the reason that I'm here, my purpose, as opposed to something that anybody could do and I'm just, just
But I mean,
wasting-
you walk
So
up,
deep.
it's like they came
this-
to see me tonight. Like
Well,
to me, that's
and it's not an
that's-
ego thing. It's
No,
more,
it's not,
you know what?
but
it's more a question of it's not
artistic
even. I
thing.
don't want them to come to see me. I want them to come to see my music. I want them to come to hear the music.
Yeah.
I would be most happy if I died and people still listen to my music. If I didn't exist and my music did. And I think most musicians are like that.
Yeah.
We care more about the music having a life, and we are here to make that happen. And that's really what it boils down to. And if you're spending your life just entertaining people, that's great. And there's people that love that and want to do that, and that's what they want to be. Good for them. But I need to make that music. I need to create that music. I need to be part of a family that's doing that. And that's from my earliest memory. That's what I wanted for my life. That's the only thing that ever felt right. And that's what I need to do.
You
and
got it. You got
I'm
it.
so glad.
I'm hot for you right now, Ron. I'm hot for you.
It must be the cheese.
Have a grape.
So let me just quickly, because I know we have to wrap up. But in terms of the future, do you want to get back sort of old school 1974, doing like sort of 2 albums every 9 months, or do you want to ride the second album for like a 2-year cycle, maybe 3? Like
we don't have that. We don't decide that anymore. Everything's changed. You can't say go back to the 70s, go back to what was. Nothing's going to go back to that.
Right.
It's now evolved or devolved or whatever you want to call it to what it is. So you have to adapt to that. And who knows what that next level is? Who knows what the
I don't want to take it away from you if you don't. But what I love, like Kiss and the Beatles, the way
Right.
they seem to have albums that came out in pairs. Rush had albums that came out in pairs.
Yes.
You know, there was like Farewell to Kings and Hemispheres.
Yeah, it was A and B.
You know, and like even Yes, you know, you had Relay and Close to the Edge.
Yep.
You have like all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have loved if we could do 2 albums that we record, like spend a month just in the studio living there recording, and then just tour and then release the other one and tour, and during that time be writing the next 2 albums as well and do it that way.
That's actually
That's a
very
cool idea, man.
Yes.
Well, I made a 3-year plan for this band in 2018
That you haven't shared to anybody.
No, I showed
We're
it to
sharing
them,
it
showed
now.
it to them, and it had all different things. Where for the second album, we do a little less touring, and we work on getting people to know our personalities. And like, I love hot sauce, so we can make a Sons of Apollo hot sauce. Billy loves red wine, we can make a red wine, and do things like that, like sharing our interests with people and
Well,
doing
becoming
things like
a
that.
personality, like you connected with Kiss on a different level. You connected with the Beatles on a different level, not
So-
just the guys on the stage.
Yeah, and
so
then
many different ways of I don't want to say marketing yourself, but presenting who you are, not just as an artist, as a musician, because there are other
Sharing
factors.
your loves, yeah.
Exactly. So you can share those factors in with the music. You're going to connect to a lot more people than just the music.
yeah, absolutely.
There
I
we
forgot
go.
what I was going to say, but yes.
Have a great.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll just say bonsoir, Montreal. Thank you, fans. Have a grape.
All
And
of
buy
the
some hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. BumblefootHotSauce.com. But no, for real. Shit, I did forget what I was going to say. All right, cut. Anyway, have a grape. So,
There you go.
please.
It was our pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking
Always
to you,
a
Mitch.
pleasure. Yes.
Always stoked to talk to you and to be part of this. And thank you for enlightening us with your presence.
Et voilà. Merci, as we say. Thank you.
Merci à toi.
Merci,
C'est mon
merci.
plaisir.
All right.
Bonsoir.